Hi everyone, welcome to the week 8 video. I just wanted to go through this module and then review some of the things that we worked on last night. So we've got this is an article that I'm asking you to read this week on funds of knowledge, so that's attached here. This is my lesson plan, the UDL lesson plan, and then the growth mindset PowerPoint from Dr. Stevens. I'll be putting the video right here. Last night, if you remember, we did the warm-up, which was around taking time for nature to kind of recenter yourself, and also a little art therapy. You can use those same things. Like I said, I took a calendar from the dollar store and just cut up pieces. You can go to magazines and create those just to help your students also just take like a time out and also set intentions depending on their age and ability level. We did the disability presentation. We'll be doing 2 more next week. So for next week, for the disability presentations, we'll have 3. Korea, Jose, and Angelina will be presenting on their disabilities. And then, of course, we went over the growth mindset with Dr. Stevens, and then we talked about some strategies and interventions, and then we had our group presentations of the UDL lesson plans. Over the next week, I'm going to be going through and giving you some more feedback on your lesson plans, and I'll really be focusing on just some of the pieces, so not all of it, but I'll just slowly start chipping away at helping support and fine-tune your lesson plan. For the what's next, if you haven't done so already, here's the link to Carol Dweck's TED Talk on growth mindset. And then, of course, activity 6, which we did mostly in class yesterday. And remember, for the group participation thing, the chart that we worked on with your group, you can take a picture of that with your phone and then just like cut and paste that into your document when you upload it. And then you're going to be reading Friends in Bursic, Chapter 8, and Funds of Knowledge, and then, of course, revise your lesson plan focused on the strategies and assessment, curriculum, and instruction. So now we're really kind of getting into, how we're supporting our students using strategies. Then just a friendly reminder that the SIOP observation of a veteran teacher is due on the 26th. And I mentioned that I had the Atlantic article, so I'm going to show that to you right here. Oops. And it is How Praise Became a Consolation Prize. Helping children confront challenges requires a more nuanced understanding of growth mindset. And so, as I mentioned, this is an interview that Christine Gross-Lowe did with Carol Dweck, and I found it really interesting and informative. So I think it's a nice next step for understanding growth mindset and how you can start integrating it into your practice. And as we talked about last night, it's something that you continually reflect on and grow. It's not something that you're just going to have right off the bat, and you will do well on it some days, and other times you'll catch yourself saying things that are more fixed mindset. So it's just about trying to become more aware and improving your practice and being gentle with yourself as you do so. So this is activity 6. So we went through and we put in our thoughts about these different areas. Of course, the feedback for Dr. Stevens' presentation. And then, as I mentioned, you can just do a picture of your handwritten notes if you want to. If you want to go through, it's up to you. But this is one of those areas where you can cut down the time that you're doing things. Because I'm looking more like for everybody who was there last night. I saw that you were interacting. I heard your discussions, and that's where the powerful peer support and interventions come from. So that was the intention there, which is actually just so you know, another helpful intervention as far as grading goes. You as a teacher, if you have all these different assignments, warm-up assignments, assessments, tests, projects, all this kind of stuff, what you'll find is that you've got all this grading to do. And so some of the things that you can do is, one, allow people to do different phases. So with the lesson plan, we're doing multiple phases before you turn in the final product. And then also having peers interact and assess each other's work, check for understanding and that type of thing. And then also, of course, with your support within the classroom. So let me just go through and make sure I've gotten everything. So this was the PowerPoint from last night. And just remember, we have the, right now we're looking at fixing the curriculum to reach high-level goals, rather than trying to necessarily always fix the student, but fixing, working with the student at their different levels is also a very evidence-based and supportive way to work with all of your diverse students. Remember, I have the strategies all listed here, the cognitive, metacognitive, and language strategies. And then scaffolding and gradual release, higher order questioning tasks. Remember, we started out this semester with the WEBS depth of knowledge, and we've got level 1 all the way to level 4, and the different levels of engagement and assessment that you would have, an expectation that you would have for your students. We have, and Dr. Stevens gave a lot of wonderful little posters on how to, change what you're saying from growth mindset to fixed mindset, or from fixed mindset to growth mindset. That was just the doodle one. And then, of course, here's the what's next. And then for Dr. Stevens' PowerPoint, just some reminders. So he gave you a lot of different resources that you can be using. So here's another link to the video, but a lot of resources that you can be using in your class around, whoops, let's see if I open it up a little bit further. And, well, yeah, my computer's not going to let me do it, or will it? There we go. And I can take this off. So you go through, and he gave us some really great visuals to take a look and think about growth mindset versus fixed, what educators can do. Let's see, that was further along. So some classroom norms that you can have, discussing your process, targeted praise, self-evaluation, reflection, so remembering to bring this to your own growth as a professional, and that this can be a lifelong journey as well. Purposeful engagement he talked about, and then what can you do next. So one thing you can do is actually get together with other colleagues and talk about how you can promote growth mindset within your school or within your own professional growth if your support people are not actually at your school site. And then, of course, he had all these great posters that you can choose from, and you can see how easy it is to kind of integrate these types of ideas into your classroom. So hopefully we gave you a lot of food for thought and on how you can improve your practice as an educator using growth mindset and universal design for learning. Anyway, I will see you next week. I'll be hopefully posting all of those things by Friday, but definitely by Monday. And I will be giving you some feedback on your lesson plans as soon as possible. Have a great week. Bye.